Welcome to day 7 of Tag Back, show where we take a look at blasters from the past and see what they can offer us today in the present and this time. You know, the best part about doing this is I just have thousands of blasters to dig through. Just bins upon bins, hundreds of dollars of Home Depot HDX bins, and I just get to pull stuff from them and do a video on it. And I'm gonna guarantee you that we're gonna see some stuff that's not even that old that I just want to talk about, because that's the entire point of Tag Back. Not that I'm not taking your considerations in the comment section about what I'm gonna do a video on, but now I'm gonna do a blaster that I just want to talk about, because those are the best kind. And the funniest part is, while it is made by Hasbro, it is not a Nerf product, but it does shoot a projectile. And it is really cool. Introducing a toy from a movie I have not seen, from a franchise that I know basically nothing about. It's the G.I. Joe Retaliation Battle Kata Blaster, circa like 2012 or so. I should have probably looked at the specs before that. Editing Walcom will fill you in. Oh yeah, we're going there. So what is this 1911 that was swallowed by a freaking Kriss Vector thing? Arguably one of the most realistic and aggressive silhouettes of a toy that Hasbro has pretty much ever made that I'm trying to show you today. And it's one of my favorite things that I've ever gotten my hands on. I've had a couple of these, but I've never found any with the actual projectiles, and I never bought it when it was on store shelves. But this one has the thing and has the things. And that's why I want to talk about it, because, well, to start it off with, it is so comfortable. Oh my god, I love this grip so much. It just looks cool and it feels great to me. If you have bigger hands, it might suck. I don't care, because I have small hands, and this is awesome. Now, it is a blaster, but as you can probably tell if you're looking at it, it's not a Nerf blaster. Hasbro does own the G.I. Joe license. In fact, if you buy newer G.I. Joe figures, the weapons that they use are now pretty much all Nerf blasters. You can buy, even Marvel Legends figures you can buy, like Cable and stuff, had like Nerf blasters. Like, I swear to God, he had like a barrel break. It's all stuff that is kind of foreign to me. I'm more of a weeb. I don't know if you could tell, but that's just so cool. It's a really good way to make me hate you even more for not bringing back the barrel break in the Icons line, Hasbro. I want an Elite barrel break, and I don't know why that hasn't happened yet, because I know that blaster's popular. But I'm getting off track. This isn't a Nerf blaster. It is a G.I. Joe missile shooter. That's the projectile that this thing uses. And if you've ever owned an action figure, specifically G.I. Joe, but many others, you will recognize what this is. And you will be laughing right now, because that's what this pistol shoots. One of the most comfortable pistols I've ever gotten my hands on. Absolutely love everything about this design. Really want a blaster that is pretty much this. I want to take my pew-pew and shove it in here. Just, oh, it'd be so cool, because I love everything about this, but this is the projectile it uses. And how does this blaster work? I was actually really confused myself, but after spending a little bit of time playing with it, it's a bolt action. It's a bolt-action 1911 Kriss Vector that shoots G.I. Joe missiles. See this thing? That's the bolt. And how does it work? You flip the bolt into the top position, prime it back, which doesn't actually actuate anything. Take your G.I. Joe missile and you just drop it in, and then you close the bolt. Still won't fire. Gotta lock it. And now, you're not prepared for this one. I can basically shoot at the camera, but it actually goes farther than you would think. Not far enough, but pretty far. But farther than you think for the mechanism, where it's like, literally the mechanism is, you lose these immediately. That's why anytime you find these, they never have the ammo, which it's incredible that this one does. I didn't even know that's what those little holes at the front were for. Makes me so happy. Again, because it's so cool. And it is self-correcting. You don't have to have the missile in there in any specific way. You just kind of drop it in, make sure it's far enough forward, and then close the bolt. And there we go. Sometimes it does get jammed if you're doing it at an awkward angle, but I love it. However, that is not the only thing the Battle Kata Blaster does. You've probably noticed that it looks frickin' ridiculous. This button on the side, which is ambidextrous, it's cool that the bolt is ambidextrous, and this is ambidextrous. If you pull that, the grip comes off, and now you have this beautiful grip that I love immensely. And I've actually destroyed one of these in the past trying to shove Boomco Farshot internals into it, which I think would totally work, but it was years ago when I wasn't very good at modding. But this goes in there, and then you get a wicked cool knife thing, which is not foam. It's a very soft, malleable rubber. So if you do stab somebody with it, kind of hurts, you can feel it, but it's just foam. You slash with it, you feel it, it hurts, but it doesn't cut you, it doesn't do any actual damage, and I guess that's okay for a kid's toy. And if it was like just slightly longer, it would be the perfect, oh God. Everything about this, if it was scaled up like maybe 15%, would probably be better. But this thing is so cool. I mean, maybe a war would let you use that if it's like somebody you know and trust, you know they're gonna do, you know, funny things with it. But it's not foam, it's not exactly that safe. And then to remove it, put it back into the blaster, press that down, slide the grip off, slide the grip back on, and it's back to being a bolt action 1911 Kriss Vector. Modification potential is non-existent. Now the shell could obviously be used for something, but you're gotta uphill battle with this since, of course, the grip is removable. So that's your catch mechanism, and that's not a lot of room. That's not a lot of space for things. However, I did find one. I found a modification this time. I actually looked it up because I was curious, and who else do you think modified one of these things years ago? Psych. Of course, Psych modified the Battle Kata Blaster to shoot something. He shoved apparently air tanks in it. So there's actually 2 air tanks in the blaster and made it shoot normal darts. Which is just dumb cool. Which now that I'm thinking about it, you could totally shove like an original OG Panther tank in this thing and make it hit like 200 FPS. He actually used this part and put the pump in here, which means unfortunately it lost its ability to be a knife, but small price to pay for actually being able to use the thing in a Nerf battle. And I'm sure some other people have done stuff as well, but that's the cursory glance that I made on you. I just love this blaster. That's why I wanted to talk about it. Like, it looks cool, it's comfortable. I mean, it's pretty real steel, about as real steel as it gets, but man, does it feel super good. And I kind of wish this was a blaster, because as far as I know, and I do not have this, there was actually a reshell of the Fury Fire in this line years after it came out, and that one came with a unique scope, but it was still a Fury Fire. I don't have one. In fact, I'm willing to bet that's somewhat a rare thing, even though I've seen it on store shelves, and I went like, well, it's just an old dart tag blaster being reshelled, why would I buy that? So I didn't. But now, decade later, yeah, I'm regretting that. I kind of wish I would have. Battle Kata Blaster, absolutely love it. The shell is absolutely awesome. Most of the time it's missing the blade, but you should be able to find the pistol grip and the pistol itself somewhere, probably with no ammo. Still worth getting, because if you want to modify one to make it shoot Nerf darts, this is a challenge, and it's a challenge worth taking, because it is so freaking cool. I have no idea how this video is going to perform, because tag back is a mysterious beast, where the reason why I stopped doing tag back was because people weren't watching it. And honestly, that's mostly my fault. I should make it a more interesting series, but when I can put a little less effort into the videos and do them every day, it's working out pretty decently so far. But this isn't a Nerf blaster, so I don't even know. Let's see what the Battle Kata, is it gonna do better? Is it gonna do worse? Time will tell, but I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you got all the way to the end, chances are you like what I do here, so please hit like, get subscribed, unless you're waiting more G.I. Joe stuff, to which I probably don't have a lot for you at all. But this one, it's pretty cool. I usually do videos on blasters, and this has blaster in the name. Thank you very much for watching this video, and of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different one. God, I love that action. Oh, it's so freaking cool.
You gotta up,